Hello, everyone. Hi. How are you all doing? I'm so excited to see you all. Hey, this is a very exciting moment for me. Also, I don't know why I did it like that, but I did. It's fine. I'm like, why did I organize my Zoom window this way? You do what you do. Anyhow, hi, I am Trooper SJP, and this is the Academic Foxhole, and this is a Saturday stream, and it's a special stream. Today's stream, we are doing an arena, a GURPS combat arena, and we have four members of the community, four battle buddies who have agreed very kindly to participate in our first sort of multi-person dry run of this exciting combat. And I was like, oh, I don't have my PDFs open. I'll have to make sure I do that while we are chatting. And so this is going to be us playing a GURPS arena, and my goal is to sort of see, okay, what are the logistics of this? How's this going to go? What do we need? And so that when we, do this again, we'll have it'll be more epic than last time. So, hey everybody, how are you? I also see PH has a loot, which is important. There's excited. Ice Bunny asks, what have you done to your face hair? And will you do Mike Buffer from WWF? I don't know Mike Buffer, and I actually haven't done anything to my facial hair. I just had a trim. I just trimmed it because it had been a month since the last time I trimmed it. I didn't do anything. It's like not even at all exciting. I swear. Also, what is going on with that window? There we go. Um, yes. It's the light. Oh, it could be it's yeah, because I just have different lighting on right now because it's a different camera, and this camera, uh, is better, I suppose. Um, a year of I want to do an arena in the future. Also, Trooper from ready. I'm ready to do this in 2 days. Huh. Look, if I have more days, it'll do it even more. But you just got to do it. Oh, it was the announcer. Oh, I'm looking very light gray today. Oh, that's because it was blue, right? Because when it's blue, it's all super blue. But then I had to trim it, and my hair grows so fast. To be fair, Trooper, says Krellin, did test with Lindy. I did. I was planning to do it in December, but here we are. Right? It is our what month is it? I don't even know. It's still July, right? It's oh yeah. PHS, what year is it? I don't even know. It's barely July. So we're gonna do an arena, and we have four gladiators coming with us today. We're not gonna do the full pomp and circumstance. We're gonna kind of just check out how it goes. We have four gladiators. We have Willen, Barantor, Krellin, and Paladin Hulk, all of whom you know, and they are going to be fighting. We have actually two heavies and two light, and I'm very excited about that. And we're gonna, do some murdering, and I like that. Krellin notes deadlines are actually really good for people with ADHD. This is true. Good in it makes them do things, yes, but bad in that they can only work under the stress of a deadline. Both of those things are true. That's why you have to give yourself false deadlines, but then they're false, and so then they don't work. It's a thing. Uh, that is a thing. So let me see. What are we gonna do? I'm gonna just take us over to our exciting last minute for government work sort of here we go for government work overlay. It's not really an overlay. I sort of cheated, but it's here. I'll make a better overlay later. I'm gonna make it all fancy. But so we have Krellin and we have Barantor, who are going to be our first fighters. We have Karellin, not Karellin. That makes no sense at all. We have Krellin. Krellin is going to be playing our Hoplomachus today. And we have Barantor playing a Murmillo. And the Hoplomachus is a good spear wielder, spear and buckler, and agile, fast. Whereas Barantor will be our Murmillo, big, heavy shield, and they're gonna try to murder each other. Really, is what it is. I gave them a little cheat sheet of different combat options last night. Now they will note that it probably came in at like 8:30 in the morning, but I have a rule that it's not the next day until you go to sleep and wake up again. So technically, by my rule, 8:30 in the morning was last night. because I hadn't gone
Oh
to.
no, that's just how time works. That's actually correct.
Yeah, right. That's just how time works. And Barontor's like, I don't think that is how time works. But I feel like Barontor might be wrong. I feel like
I could very well be wrong.
yeah, right. That's yeah. Where am I looking for? I'm looking for this. So, we're going to go and have an exciting arena. We're using the tactical rules. We're using also martial arts. So we're going some full on options here. We're also using um, fatigue points to boost your, if you want to give yourself some extra defense or extra damage. But of course, if you run out of fatigue, it's bad for you. Also, if you run out of hit points, that's also bad for you. If you get hit, that is bad for you. So, it's just one of those things. So, let me ask. When we do the next arena, which I imagine we will do, we'll use full on like audience reactions and all that kind of stuff. But right now, I want to see how this goes and see how we work it. Um, so I have a question. My question is, which one of you two has the highest basic strength? I'm
13.
I'm pretty sure it's Barontor.
Yep.
Let me see, because I feel like I can.
But did you mean to say basic speed?
I did. Basic speed is what I meant.
In that case, it's probably me.
Let's see. Is there? I feel like there's a. Uh, right click a token and choose add a turn. Okay. Well, that's not even a. Does this do a thing? Woo! Hey, Krellin. And then Barontor.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh. Huzzah! But I think the question is, which one of you, Krellin, what's your speed?
6.5.
Nice. Barontor?
6.25.
I see. That means Krellin gets to go 1st.
Mm-hmm.
1 second turns, everyone. On your turn, if you are used to D&D combat, D&D has like 6 second turns and you can do like 18,000 things in a turn. You can like move, attack 14 times, also take 14 like you can just do a lot. GURPS basics 1 second, so you can usually do only one thing. You can push it to do more things, but then there's usually a trade-off of losing, well, some sort of penalty to your defense or to attack, in that kind of a way. So, Krellin, as you emerge from the darkened underside of the arena into the bright sun with the hard-packed sand, you're probably, I imagine right now we're in Gaul. It's a small arena with a small sort of games sort of put up. And the games are it's probably like maybe one of your first matches. All of you are very new. There's not a lot of money here yet, but maybe if you do well, you can get fame and fortune and make your way to bigger and better arena. And maybe even earn enough money to buy your freedom. Probably not, but maybe. But you might be able to buy lots of alcohol. Who knows? Who knows? There are a lot of options that probably do not involve you being released from your contract. But I mean,
I like lots of alcohol.
yeah, right. That might work. So, it is the way it is how it is. So let me ask, for your first turn, what would you like to do?
Well, I got this guy with a big giant shield and a little pokey sword behind it.
Mm.
So I think I'm just going to put my little buckler out in front of me, raise my spear pointy side at first, and circle around a little bit and just evaluate this guy.
Ah. Well, well, well. So, with many of your maneuvers, you can take a step. And when you take a step, you can change your facing if you like. You can any facing you like. But he just takes one step forward and evaluates. Barontor, what would you like to do?
Well,
You see him just kind of lurking in the back.
see, and to me, wanting to become a better gladiator and thinking only to the top, I'm going to actually turn to the side where the nobility is and raise both my sword and my shield as high as I can.
Mm.
And because I'm a strong Britannian from the Iceni, I shake both of them in you know tribulation for this attempt, and I would probably just step to the right. I think
Hmm.
so, and maybe I believe I can turn as well.
Yes, you
Correct?
can.
A step. Yes,
Hmm.
and like that, and I would.
Hmm. Um, would you make a performance roll
I sure can.
if you would?
And how do I do that? I see it. I see it. All
Hmm.
right. So
I see. Oh, um, that was a 13.
mhm.
Sorolo. You you know, both both Krellin and Barator are trying to impress the crowd, who are at this point in time not that impressed. They're like,
They're still sitting down eating,
yeah,
like getting their popcorn
yeah,
ready or
they're
something.
eating. They're waiting for
It's like
some blood on the sand.
they're
Right.
just like, who the fuck are these guys?
Yeah, basically.
Krellin, it is you.
Boy, it looks like we got a show off here.
Mm-hmm.
I'll just keep circling around and keeping my eye on this guy. Actually, he's. Hey, Barantor,
Mhm.
are you right or left-handed?
Right-handed.
Okay. So I will step this way and keep my eye on that guy,
Mm,
evaluating even more.
indeed. Now your evaluate maxes out, I believe, at 3. I believe that is the case. Barantor,
Yes.
he's keeping you at a distance. What do you do?
So now it's go time. The time for tribulation and pompousness is over. The time to move is upon us, and so he will move. And I believe I can. With 6.25, I can with speed. I can move several squares or
Well,
several hexes.
how is your encumbrance?
My encumbrance. My encumbrance. If I can find it.
Let's see. It looks to me
Mm-hmm.
as if you you have 1 encumbrance,
Mm-hmm.
so your move is currently a 4.
A 4. Okay. So I can move 4
Mm-hmm.
spaces, correct? Okay.
That is correct.
Now that includes turning or not?
When you move,
Mm-hmm.
you keep your direction by default,
Mm-hmm.
but when you sort of so if you moved forward, you would sort of keep moving forward. But if you move to that hex that's to your right, you can
Like
turn to
this?
move uh,
Okay.
into that hex.
So if I turned like this, I
That's
can
a
move in.
full on turn though.
Okay.
So that would be moving yourself, what, 2?
See, I would be 1, 2. Yes. And then one, I can go one more, correct?
Yeah.
Or am I wrong?
Yeah, so
Okay.
each hex turn is a move,
Right.
unless it's when your free one.
Right. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Then I will do that.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, he is getting he's it's game time.
All right.
It's
All
game
right.
time. The shield's up, the sword is next to it in the proper manner in which we've been taught. And
This is your first fight. You've
mhm.
not spilled blood yet in the arena floor.
Uh-uh.
Krellin, he's keeping his distance. It's not as fast as you are. What are you going to do?
I see he's trying to keep his shield to me.
Mm-hmm. He is.
Absolutely.
Tricky little bastard.
Mm-hmm.
But he's slow and
Mm-hmm.
big. And I'm just going to move up a little bit, keeping my eye on him still.
Barantor, can I get more volume from you?
Absolutely.
Thank you.
How is that?
A little more.
A little more.
Perfect.
Good. All right. Thank you.
Thank you. Excellent. Thank you, Sal. Thank you. So now, Krellin is creeping forward, it looks like, yes?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I don't want to give my backside to anyone because I've been taught that's probably a bad thing. So he is going to move forward 1, turn to the north. I would assume this is
Mhm.
the north, and also advance here.
And that because that
Mhm.
turn was part of your move, that doesn't count. So you have two.
Oh, I think he's being cautious. He's not trying to. It's
Mhm.
early. He's not trying to wear himself out. This
Mhm.
is the sand's getting hot,
Mm-hmm.
and he's like, I need to save my. Let's see what happens.
Okay. Krellin. Where's my piece of paper I'm looking for?
You know, the thing about guys with big shields,
They also have big feet.
it's like they're compensating for something.
Oh, I see. I feel like that's some smack talk. It's like.
That's no good. So can I do multiple fatigue options?
You can do one defense, one offense, but you can't do two of the same on the same turn.
Okay. So like I couldn't do a great lunge and a heroic charge. Is that right?
That is
Because they're both
correct.
offensive.
Yeah. Now your move is 6. Is that correct?
I believe so because I am unencumbered.
That is true. So technically, Barantor is within range.
Yes, that's
Mhm.
what I was thinking about. Unfortunately, he's within range with his dumb shield.
just now, I do want to point out, if I remember correctly, you both have helmets on, yes?
Yes.
Yes.
Which means both of you have no peripheral vision. Which means that you have no left and right hex. You only, because normally in GURPS, like your very back hex is your backs, and then you have your left and your right, and your first 3 are your front hexes. But because you have these really restrictive helmets on, all 3 of the hexes behind you are back hexes, and you cannot defend from hexes from attacks that start in your back.
Like even on his left, technically what would be his left hex if he had peripheral vision. That changes things.
But if you start in front of your opponent and then you move behind your opponent, they can still defend, but they're just at a -2.
That's still pretty good. So I think I'm going to do a heroic charge.
Spend a fatigue. Now, the heroic charge lets you move an attack without having the big, huge penalty, because there's doing 2 things at once is a lot in 1 second.
And that will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I can turn during that?
Yes.
And then I will just stab this guy.
Okay. So you charge across the sands, moving into his rear side.
Actually, my evaluate will apply for this, won't it?
Yes, it will.
Then I'm going to stab him in the vitals.
You're going to stab him in the vitals? That's rude.
Yes.
That's cool. Please make that attack. Vitals is -3, but you have a +3, so you're at a even.
Yeah, it should just be a straight roll, I think.
That is correct. Tell me what you got. Okay.
Ooh, hit because I'm good.
That is good enough to hit. The question is, will Barantor be able to defend?
That's a good question. And that...
I will note that you have a retreat.
Yes.
So you can take a step away.
Now, when you take the step, can you turn as you retreat, or
Yes,
is
you
it
can.
just you can?
Yes, you can.
So I will do that and hopefully not get hit. Let's see.
And are you? How are you defending yourself? A dodge.
Yes, with a dodge, and we can't get that big shield around in time, so it's more of a side step and then turn. And so then, is it just one turn you get with the step?
No, with a step you can go any direction you like.
Okay, so
That's a
then
nice
I
bonus
will
step.
turn toward this opponent and bring up my shield in front.
I will note that looks like a success, but it is not.
Right.
Because you have the -2 because he hit you from behind.
Oh yes.
I mean, he ran around you. So,
Right.
Krellin, could you roll for damage as our first blow comes through?
I rolled a 1.
Ooh! 2 impaling damage to the vitals.
Mhm.
Do you have a torso armor? I feel like you don't because gladiators are
No.
awfully naked in public.
Just the groin.
Yeah.
Just the groin and
Yeah.
the helmet
Yeah.
and the shield.
Yeah. Ooh, thank you. Thank you for that. That is 2 points of damage that gets through.
Okay.
However, because it's vitals, that's multiplied by 3.
Right.
Please take 6 points of damage.
Yikes.
Mm-hmm.
That
Which,
brings me down to 9.
yes. And how many hit points do you have?
I had 15. Now
Okay.
I have 9.
No, this is good because
Yeah.
it doesn't stun you. Like
Right.
you are okay.
Mhm,
However,
mhm.
you are at a shock penalty for this next turn of yours,
Okay.
which means
Is that a 2?
you're at a -4.
-4. Okay.
So you may want to not attack. You're at a -4 to your skills. So you might want to
Right.
give yourself a second because you just, as this sort of
Right.
spear like plunges into your flesh and blood
Right.
comes spurting out. There's a bit of shock. So
Mhm.
you may want to,
I think what he would do is that this got around his defenses, and so he will take out I believe it's all out defense, correct?
Yes.
I think he will do that, and he'll kind of steady himself, kind of he's bleeding, and it's not a good feeling, and he does not like it, and there's probably now blood on the sand, and
Yes.
so he's taking a step back and probably steadying himself and kind of squaring himself up against this opponent now.
I will ask, you do have movement with this
Ooh,
all-out
yes,
defense.
I do.
You can take a step, or you have your movement force. You can take up to half of your movement, or you can take a step. That is up to you.
I think he would probably back up against the wall to there and try to deny. Now he's got that shield on his right, and so he's denying with the all-out defense. He's denying that chance to come around on his left.
Yep. Krellin, you've tasted blood. What do you do? He's backed up against the wall, bleeding, clearly in a defensive stance.
Yeah, but he's still got a big dumb shield.
He does. A very heavy shield.
I don't like that big dumb shield.
Mm.
I don't know. I have this aversion to big dumb shield. That's why mine's just so small and nimble.
It's just like maneuverable. What would you like to do?
I would like him to not have a shield.
I know.
But I'm not sure that's one of my options.
Well, I mean, if you had a trident.
So actually, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to play the crowd.
Ooh. All right. Ooh.
I'm just going to step back, raise my spear, and scream, "We spill this blood for you, Gaul!"
Could you roll your performance, please? With a +1, if you don't mind. Because there's blood.
If Roll20 would let me type in the field.
Ooh. Right now they're like, okay. There's some murmuring in the crowd a little bit. There's a little bit of like a discussion about like, oh, there was this. Oh, let's see.
I'm sorry. I would like to just step back 1 second. What I actually scream is, "We spilled this blood for you, Jormund." I promised him. I promised him.
This is fair. Your opponent is peacocking, Barantor. Your shock penalties like that, you would only take it, you need that 1 second to sort of clear your
Yeah.
mind and grit
Mhm.
your teeth.
Right.
What do you do?
So at this point, being of the Iceni and seeing not only this person try to appeal to the crowd
No.
that's obviously on my side, but also not liking really any of this because they were brought into this, he's going to like kind of build up this momentum inside of himself and do a move and attack.
Yep.
And go right at this guy.
I have a question.
Yes.
Would you like to spend a fatigue to make that a heroic charge?
Absolutely.
I was just curious about that.
Absolutely going to spend that fatigue. And we will go.
I also have a further question for you.
Yes.
Are you attacking with your shield or with your sword?
So my initial thought was attacking with the shield and just trying to bowl him over would probably, if I were to lay this guy on his bottom in the sand after he has tried to appeal to the crowd,
Yes.
the crowd would obviously be on my side at that point.
Of course. Could you put yourself in his hex? Because it looks like
Absolutely.
you are trying to slam him.
With the closest of combats. Yes.
With the closest
of combats.
With the closest of combats. If you wouldn't mind, could you make your shield roll?
Absolutely. And
you can roll against you can roll against shield. That is
okay, I think.
lovely.
Yeah, I have the shield bash. Do you want me to do that?
Just roll the shield skill.
Shield skill, okay.
And then you can yes.
And do I need to modify it by anything? Okay. There we go.
Krellin, this is a roll good enough to connect as this heavy, heavy fighter comes just charging shield first towards you, and you know that shield is a heavy shield. It's like 25 pounds. It would not be a good idea to parry that shield with your spear.
It actually also would not be a good idea to block that shield with my shield, because my shield's only 8 pounds.
That is, yep. Yeah.
I think that's right. It might actually even be lighter.
Yeah. So.
Oh shoot! It's 2.
It's 2
pounds.
Semi-truck versus Volkswagen Bug type.
So I think I'm going to dodge this.
Yep. Would you like to retreat?
I would like to retreat. Wait, let me see if I can I actually even get my token?
Oh, do I need to?
Hold on, I got to move you for a second.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, you're fine.
And you can change your facing with your retreat.
So I'm going to try to sidestep this.
Yep.
I'm also going to spend a fatigue on a feverish defense, because I would very badly like to get out of the way of this and not get hit.
Because you may not want to get hit by, So.
And a feverish defense gives me a +2.
It does. Okay. Describe how you shift out of the way of this oncoming train.
Oh, he thought I took my eyes off him to appeal to the crowd, but I know better. I'm experienced. I fought before the arenas.
Okay.
I know what I'm doing. And he comes charging at me. I just step to the side.
Fair. It's your go. And I'm going to note that I thought we should just check in. You're currently at 10 out of 12 fatigue and 12 out of 12 hit points. And Barantor, you are currently at where you're at what, 9
hit points of 15 and 12 out of 13 fatigue.
Okay, I'm gonna just put those hit points right in there for you. And then
thank you.
You're welcome. And then we'll put your fatigue up here so you can just see them. You can just see, and everyone else can see how that's going. Krellin, it is you.
I think I actually might have him right where I want him.
Uh-oh.
Because this square right here, you can't, there, right there.
Mm-hmm.
That's his
Mhm.
sword arm.
Mm-hmm. It is.
It means he doesn't have his shield there.
That is correct.
So I am going to step over here,
Mm-hmm.
make a what is that called? A committed attack.
Mm-hmm. Now, committed attacks give you a little bit of bonus to your attack or damage at the expense of defense.
Yes. Uh,
Would you like a +2 to attack or +1 to damage?
I actually think I would like +2 to attack,
Mhm.
and I would also like to spend a fatigue point to make it a mighty blow.
Okay. We're going for a big hit here. Mm-hmm.
And I am going to poke at his vitals again.
Okay. Okay.
So spend the fatigue.
This is an
And
attack
so-
from behind, but it's a runaround, so there's a -2 to defense.
Yep.
And no shield.
Yeah,
DB.
the no shield's the important part because
Yeah.
that's a big -3 off his defense.
Yeah. Oh gosh.
Mhm. Mhm.
Okay.
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 So I'm actually I think you can do this in Roll20. I hope you can do this in Roll20. Let's see if it works. It did work.
Okay.
Okay.
So that was a -3 for striking the vitals,
Yep.
Mhm.
but a +2 for the committed attack.
Yep. Which is a hit.
Mhm.
Well, good enough to hit.
Right.
Barontor,
Hmm.
towards your vitals, this spear is snaking out, and you have just a moment.
Right.
From back, like you can just you saw him step
Right.
outside of your peripheral
Right.
vision,
Right.
and you know it's coming.
So I think knowing that it's a spear and knowing that it's got that long reach, and so I know it has to come in at a kind of a distance, and I've got this what is it called, the gladius, right?
Yes.
Gladius, the sword. I'm thinking he's going to try to parry and just push this spear out of the way, even though he can't see it very
Yep.
well. It's just an instinctive kind of move, and
I assume you're going to retreat with that parry.
yes, and yeah, and he'll turn on his opponent.
Would
So,
you like to use feverish defense to give yourself a +2 to your defense roll? It's up to you.
that does use a fatigue point, though,
It
doesn't
does.
it? Yeah,
Just one, if you know.
yeah, I think we have to do that, and so that's a +2 that will counteract the negative from
Yes.
the vision, correct?
Yes.
Okay, and so and then I can retreat a step
Mhm.
as I do that,
Mhm.
right? So it would be like this, correct?
Exactly.
All right. So,
For a +1.
right. And so, where is my gladius? There it is. Okay. So, we're going to do this. We're going to try to smack that spear, saying, no, not that side too. That can't, no, no. And
Yep.
we'll see what
So-
happens.
Okay.
So that makes it a 0 modifier, correct?
Uh,
With the fatigue
+1
point spent. +1.
for the retreat.
Okay. +1 for the retreat.
Mhm.
That's right.
Oh.
Okay. And it is a success.
Okay. Well,
Correct.
hold on. Let's make sure.
Oh, is it? Okay.
You don't get that +3, but that's a
Oh, that's true.
10,
Okay.
which is
But
still
that'd be
enough.
10.
Still
Okay.
enough. You're still good.
So he would spin and kind of knock that spear away, back up and turn and bring that big ugly shield that's a big bulldozer blade right up in front and kind of deny his sneakiness. We don't abide by sneakiness.
No,
so
I mean, there's a lot of sneakiness there.
Mhm.
I should be paying too much turn order, but I haven't. Okay. It is your turn, Barontor.
So with doing that,
Mm-hmm.
I believe, can I make a step and evaluate? Is that
Yes, you can.
correct?
Mhm.
So I think what he's going to do is he does not want that to happen again. Absolutely not.
Mm-hmm.
And so he is going to take a step backwards
Mm-hmm.
and evaluate his opponent to see if there's any more sneaky stuff that's going to be happening at this moment, because that was very close, and that's not something he likes to happen. And so we will evaluate.
And I want to. I feel like there's a way to like increase the number. I'll just do it by hand. You have one evaluate.
Okay. And I believe I need to come down on my fatigue from using that defense, correct?
Yes. Yes, indeed.
Okay.
Krellin, your opponent is backing up, sort of sussing you out.
All that shield and nowhere to go.
So,
And I guess we're back to the evaluation game because I'm just going to step over here and keep my eye on this person.
I will note, Krellin, for the future, in case you're interested, that you do have a technique, which is feint, in case you are so moved.
Yeah. Fainting is for people who are not fighting people with giant shields. They're going to smash them in the face.
That is fair. Barantor.
Yes.
Oh, crit witch. There is an option for bleed damage. I'm not using it. That's like there's an option, but I'm being kind. Like, I mean, you can.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm being kind because yes. This is as you see, they have a small number of hit points, and getting hit can be very bad. This is a GURPS combat often has a flow of like you're maneuvering, trying to get into a good space because getting hit is real bad. You don't oh, I just took 14 hits. You just like you don't take 14 hits. You take a couple. Barantor?
Thanks for that intro.
I'm just letting you know what the stakes are.
All right. What would buy my Britain do?
He's evaluating you. You are evaluating him.
Right. I think I'm just gonna, when you have this piece of wall in front of you, you become one with the wall, right? And it makes you stronger. But we'll see.
I also would like to point out that you have two techniques as well.
Right.
You have feint, which, when you want to fake somebody out, but you also have a counterattack, so that when you successfully defend, your next attack gets a little bit of a bonus.
Right.
And I have the notes in there for you.
Okay. Thank you. And so would that count for this one, seeing as I parried last time and evaluated? Correct. Okay.
Well, the last turn you did was an evaluate, so it says so basically you attack as soon as your defender there's a hole,
okay.
right?
All right. Yeah.
So you can attempt it only on your turn immediately after a successful active defense.
All right.
So the next time you successfully defend,
we'll keep that in mind.
You can come back at him.
Right. I think that I'm going to get closer.
Hi, Skexy.
And that might not be the smartest thing. But if we stay one with the wall, then we might do well. And so I believe I can do this.
Yes, you can.
And this.
Yes.
Correct? Yes.
Absolutely. Because that's 3 and that's 4.
Right, and 4. Yeah.
Now, the crowd sees that Barantor, heavy shield, has backed himself up against the wall, giving himself very little retreating space. Is this safety or is this danger? Krellin, what do you do?
Gotta weigh how this guy wields that shield, how he wields his sword. He's figured out the whole keep my back from getting stabbed thing, so that trick's not gonna work again.
Nope.
But I will note where he's at, he cannot retreat backwards.
That is true.
You can't hit him from behind, but he cannot retreat backwards either.
I think actually
And Barantor, you lose your evaluate.
I know.
I think I'm just going to close the distance a little bit here
Oh,
and keep evaluating.
okay. Krellin, small buckler, spear, eyes
Mhm.
you up and moves
Mhm.
closer.
Right. Right. Hmm.
Clearly sizing up your weaknesses, your strengths,
Right.
moving closer like Doom.
No, no, I'm Doom. I'm Doom.
Mm-hmm. You're
And
hardier than he is.
right. Right. How dare he try to attack the wall?
Oh,
For the wall is immovable, the foundation upon which all is made. We're going to now a step is free as part of an attack if I step. So if I step and then attack, it's not considered a move and attack.
that
Is
is
that
correct.
correct? That's correct.
That
Okay.
is correct.
It's been a while since I played GURPS. But sometimes it all comes flooding back.
With-
So I he likes to take risks, this
Mm.
guy from the north.
Mm.
Yeah, he is going to step forward. Yeah, I have to do that. I have to do that. Oh, what is it called with the charge that I can add? If I do a all-out attack
Mhm.
plus a charge.
Ooh, well, with an all-out attack, you have
Right.
half your movement, so you would be able to hit him
Right.
with just the all-out attack
Okay.
because you get a half of your move,
Right.
and you were only 2 away now, which means you can get into close combat with him. Before you make that choice, I just want the audience to know what an all-out attack means.
Yes.
An all-out attack gives you some options. You can, if you like, get a +4 to your attack, or you can get 2 attacks, which you could use for like a feint and attack. You've got many options there. You can or get extra damage or get extra range, but there's a trade-off for all that wonderful thing. And that trade-off is you get no defenses.
Yep.
0 defenses. None. 0. Dearest Barantor, do you make an
Yes.
all-out attack?
Yes. I make an all-out attack.
Do you get up in his grill?
I get up in his grill. Now, I can be sneaky too. The wall can sneak up on you. And so the first attack is going to be a feint. And then the second attack is going to be a strike.
And let me ask you.
Yes.
Trooper,
Yes.
I've been evaluating this guy.
Yes, that is correct.
So that bonus will apply to my fighting his feint, won't it?
Yes, it will. Because you've been watching him. You're trying to get it, you know, you're getting an eye. Now, if I remember correctly, your feint is with your shield. So I see you'll be feinting with your shield and then attacking with your short sword.
Right. It'll be a oh, here he comes again with the bull rush.
Yep.
And nope, here underneath comes the gladius. So
okay.
And we'll see if this works. If it doesn't, he might be dead here in a minute.
Please make now I also would like to ask, do you want to use any of your fatigue points? Because you can.
Now what was there a charge I could do as part of an all-out attack?
Well, since you already have your all-out attack, right?
Right. Oh, that's true. In the movement. Okay.
Yes, you could use mighty blows to get +2 damage.
Oh.
If you know.
Now, would
if you
that
hit.
would right if I hit with the second? Okay. So yeah, we're gonna do mighty blows.
Okay.
And hopefully lay this guy out. We'll see what happens.
Roll your defense.
Yep. Oh,
roll your feint. Pardon me.
Feint. Okay. And that's with no modifier with the feint, or do I get?
You actually have on your, if you go to your skills, you'll have the feint right there, and your feint is an 18.
Oh, okay. So, okay. Oh, I need to use the skills then.
Yeah.
Okay. Excuse me.
because this is a contest.
Right. Okay.
Your weapon skill versus his weapon skill.
Right.
I don't get to fight his feint with my feint, do I?
I think you can actually. I will check, but I believe the answer is yes.
Okay. I'm going to go ahead and roll this feint.
Please do. And then tell me by how much you succeed.
That is good.
That's a success by 8.
Mm-hmm.
That's good. That's very good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Krellin, would you, if you don't mind, if you're not too busy, if you're feeling fine about it, might you roll your feint if you don't mind?
And do I get the +2 evaluate to that?
Yes, you do.
Guess who read every single move you laid out there, Barantor?
Well, he came at it like a bulldozer, and
Yep.
it's bulldozer mode is it's probably pretty easy to read.
Well, but now a feint for my audience members, if you do not know, if Barantor had succeeded by more, however much he succeeded by would go against Krellin's defense.
Yep.
But you do get your second attack.
I do, and that will absolutely be with the sword. And we are going to, because in GURPS, and I don't think Troopers covered this, if you have a sword has a pointy end and it has this big blade down the side, and you could swing it or you can poke with it.
Yes.
And poking does a lot of good stuff when it gets in there.
So
I tend to like the thought of Gladius coming in and poking myself.
What's very exciting is that you have this choice. Usually swing does a higher base damage and thrust does a lower base damage, but if you get through with that thrust,
it does wicked things.
Yeah, it hurts you on the insides.
The innards is turns into blender mode, and that's not good.
Yeah. I would take it you would like to thrust with your Gladius.
Yes. Now, okay, I've got all out attack.
Mm-hmm.
And what are my modifiers?
Right now you have no actual modifiers, but if you succeed, you'll get bonus to your damage.
Right. Okay. Well, then let's roll with this and see if this bulldozer mode didn't trick him out. But maybe this little stab from underneath will do it. Otherwise, he could be a shish kebab here in a minute.
Oh.
And it hits.
Okay. All right.
I believe that's right.
That is good enough for a hit.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So, I was really kind of hoping he'd just flat out miss.
You're going to have to defend.
Yeah. I guess
he's coming in with his Gladius.
Fortunately, the Gladius is not a 6-pound sword.
Yes.
So I can go ahead and dash that aside with my shield.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Would you like to retreat?
Yes, I think I will actually take a step back while I do that.
Okay.
Please roll your block. And if you would like to spend fatigue to increase your feverish defense, you may do so.
Yeah, I'm still feeling pretty good. And really, I think I win this fight if I block this blow. So I'm going to go ahead and do that.
Mm-hmm. Spending a bit more of his inner reserves. Let's see how this block goes.
Okay, so that's +1 for the retreat.
Yes.
And then +2 for the fatigue.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Darn.
The blow is parried.
Mm-hmm.
Krellin, your opponent, the wild man from the north, has no defenses. He gave everything he could to rush you, to defeat you, to vanquish you. What would you like to do?
I think...
One moment before you say anything. Audience, this is the moment when things can be desperate. Go on, Krellin.
Tension is up here.
Yeah. No defenses.
No defenses.
Did he use up my evaluate with his feint, or do I still have
You
it?
still have it.
In that case, I
Yep.
think what I'm going to do is pretty clear.
Mhm.
I think it's pretty clear.
Now, I'm going to just note that there's hey, audience, there is a question that a person in Krellin's position has to ask themselves. And I want to know what answer Krellin gives. Krellin, what would you like to do?
I would like to win.
Mm-hmm.
I am just going to actually, I don't think I need to do anything fancy.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I need to, I don't need to stab him twice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you do.
I just,
You might.
hey, do you want me to stab you twice? Because
It's
I'll do
fine,
it in a way
whatever.
that you probably won't like.
I'm excited for Krellin to me what his what his maneuver is, and then audience, I'll tell you something. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, I'm just gonna come in here with a mighty blow because I need that +2 to damage.
Okay.
Yep.
Because I rolled a 1 the last time. This fight would have been over if I hadn't rolled a freaking 1.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I will just stab him in the vitals.
Now, audience, here's the question that I had that I was like, I wonder what Krellin will do. In this moment, some people think I should all-out attack because they have no defenses. So I just all-out attack, which is cool unless you don't take them out, in which case then it starts getting very desperate people.
This is
super
a
desperate
big
people.
This is a big beefy dude. What if I rolled an 18?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah. Okay.
What if I rolled a 1 on damage again?
Yeah. All right, a mighty blow. Your step and attack. Please roll. And you're just going for the torso, is that correct?
No, vitals.
Vitals.
Yeah.
So that is, you were going for an 11, but plus so yes, that is a hit.
Oh, yeah.
Barantor, you cannot defend.
Nope.
There's no defense for you at this moment.
I figured he had stabbed so hard that just everything under here is just like, come get me, and it's...
Krellin, would you please roll your damage? I see. That's a 6. That's
And I did a mighty blow.
Ooh, that's plus. Did you add the +2 already? No.
It didn't let me do a modifier when I rolled the damage.
So that's
Okay.
an 8.
Yeah.
An 8 to the torso, but it's the vitals.
Yes.
So it's times 3.
Mm-hmm.
So that's at 24 points of damage.
Uh-huh.
That's great. Not great for you.
I believe I just dropped him to negative health.
You did. Let's just see how this plays out, because I feel like we should just probably know what happens to you. Yeah, no, we should just probably find
Fade
out.
to black. No, it's okay.
No, I just want to know if you're dead or not, because you may or
probably
or may
most
not
likely.
be. It's
Yeah.
Yeah. So here's the thing about GURPS. You're at negative your hit points.
Mhm.
You might not be dead. You might not
true.
even be unconscious.
Mm-hmm.
So what was it? 20? Was it 24? Because it was 8 times 3,
Mm-hmm.
and I have 9. And my max is 15, and I'm at negative 15 now.
Well, let's do this.
Mhm.
Let's do this in order,
Yeah.
because
Okay.
I feel like that might be exciting for you.
Right? Not really.
Well, yeah. Now, of course, the thing is, there's also the maximum amount of damage you can do to somebody.
Mhm. Yeah.
But that's some vitals hits right there. So that's
Right.
that's not
Yeah.
great. Let's start. Since that was a lot of damage, could you please
Mhm.
roll for knockdown and stunning first?
Okay. And then remind me how to do that.
That roll versus your health.
Roll versus my health.
Yes, please.
So,
But
just stock, no modifiers, correct?
you do have a minus because you just got hit in the vitals. So that's like
Okay. Yes.
sad times.
Right.
At times, I'm very sad for you. I mean,
I took a risk, and it
No,
did
it's
not
good, it's
pay
good.
off. Yes. What is the modifier?
I believe it's -5.
Yeah, I
Yep.
I thought it was a nice, good
Yep.
high number like that.
Yep.
So yeah. So yeah, yeah, that's a fail.
So
Mhm.
you're
Yep.
on the ground. First off, you're just on the ground.
Um,
Your weapon leaves your
Yep.
hand as you are stunned
oh yeah. Oh yeah.
on the ground.
hmm
If you might, could you please roll health again?
Absolutely.
Are you at minus? You're at minus your. You're at how many? What's your hit point total right now?
My hit point total before he attacked was 9.
Yeah.
This went negative 24, which is completely my negative of total max hit points, which I believe is a thing in GURPS, unless
is.
I miss. Yeah.
It is.
So
So you are currently at negative 15.
correct.
Exactly. Please
Yep.
roll your health.
All right. No modifiers.
No
or do I need
modifiers.
them? Okay. That is a success.
Interesting. You are not dead.
Oof. But not feeling good.
You are not dead, but you're feeling bad.
Yeah.
You're on the ground.
Yeah.
You are
Yeah.
not unconscious, which
No.
is
good.
which is great for you,
Yep.
kind of. But you are stunned,
Mhm.
and you are in a really bad way. And if you try to do anything, you may just fall unconscious. So
Right.
you're not feeling good. I'm gonna just put you right
No.
over there for you, just so you know it.
Oh, that's
yeah.
wrong person.
Guarantor is
oh,
blue.
Oh,
I'm
you're
blue.
right. So
Yeah.
sorry. Here.
No problem.
It's your turn.
Yay.
Would you? You're not doing well this turn.
No.
You're. I think technically the word I would say is you're doing poorly. It's yeah. You don't have your weapons. Your
No.
shield is unreadied.
Right.
Um,
I'm prone.
yeah, you're at a lot of minuses all around.
Yeah. Mhm.
Isn't he also stunned?
Oh yes, which means on this turn you can't do anything
Nope.
because you're stunned.
Yep.
You can make a health roll though.
Oh, lovely.
Wait, he's doing nothing. Does that negate
recover
him having to make the
to recover.
to
from stun.
recover from the stun?
Yeah.
Yes.
Right. Mhm.
Yeah. So fortunately, he does not have to check to see if he dies again because he is in
Yes.
fact doing nothing.
You only check when you to die at thresholds. Okay, your next turn you will not be stunned, but this turn you are stunned. Krellin, what would you have to do with your defenseless friend, who is stunned on the ground with his gladius next to him, his shield unreadied, bleeding profusely out of his vital areas in ways that are not going to be great for him later.
Is there any way for me to take the shield away?
Yes, absolutely. Because it's not readied. He is stunned. You can just take the shield away because he.
Yeah, I would like to just pull the shield off his arm and toss it across the arena like a discus.
Do you have wrestling?
I do.
Please
actually
roll that for me, if you don't mind. -2. If you like, you can all out to get a +4 on that.
No, I'm not taking my defenses down while he still has that giant shield.
Why not?
Yeah. Could you Barantor, would you mind rolling defense
Absolutely.
-4?
Which defense would this
Yeah,
be?
actually you're at so many minuses.
Mhm.
It's gonna have to be a dodge.
Okay.
But your dodge is, halved, and you're at -4.
My dodge is halved and -4.
Yeah.
Then I'm at a 0.
Yeah. So you have to.
You could always roll a 3.
You could always roll a 3 or a 4, a critical success.
Okay. Well, we'll just roll it, and if I roll a 3 or 4,
Yeah. Because you're not in a good way, is what I'm saying.
No. So I put the -8 in, correct?
Yeah.
Is that? Yep.
Yeah. It's not good to be on the ground and also
No, critical failure, obviously.
yeah.
That's how that works.
Well,
You
fortunately, you're already on the
The
ground,
ground,
which
yep.
Yeah,
is
right.
yeah, a critical failure for that dodge would have dropped you to the ground, but no, you can't
Hmm.
you can't move.
Right.
You are just your bell is rung as he
Yep.
grabs your shield and tosses it.
Mm. Okay. Okay.
It's your turn. What would you like to do?
after I toss it, can I
Yeah.
step back?
Yes, of course.
Yeah, and I just toss it across the field and
Mm.
point at him with my spear and look at the crowd.
Hmm.
Would you like to do anything?
So, this man's from the north.
He is.
When people got stabbed like this,
Yep.
from his experience, and he probably hasn't seen anybody recover from such grievous injuries.
Mm-hmm.
In his mind, he's dying.
Mm-hmm. You have no shield. You have no
He has
sword.
no shield. He has no, but he knows that
Your weapon
his
is
only
at the floor.
chance is to either vengeance or glory. It's one of those two. And so I believe I could spend some fatigue points and get up and try to grapple him. Is that right? Or do I not have enough?
The problem is that you're on the ground, so you've got to get to
Right.
to kneeling.
Right.
You've got to
And I've got,
bring yourself up to a kneeling
Mhm.
position.
So I've got to change positions.
You do.
That's what I was wondering. Yeah.
Mhm. Unless you're an acrobat where you can like kip up, but you're gonna have to go from laying down to kneeling.
I don't think kipping up with a side that's probably split open is probably a good idea.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go ahead and get to the kneeling position.
Roll health.
Yeah. And we'll see if he doesn't just pass out automatically.
Yep.
Trying to do
Because
that.
you might just pass out.
Yeah. So when
automatically.
you're as grievously wounded as Barentor is, when you do
-1.
anything other than do nothing on your turn, you must roll to see if you pass out.
Right.
And you were at a -1.
Oh, okay. I did not add that in. Okay.
But that is still a success.
Right.
Tell me how you get from being on the ground to like.
So I figure he's now putting his arm around his guts to try to hold them in, and he's pushing up against the sand. It's hot, and he's bringing that right knee, that dominant knee of his right hand, up underneath, and then finally bringing that left leg, grunting. Everything hurts. Left leg up, and now he's kneeling on his right knee, and still kind of steadying himself with his right arm while he holds his guts in with his left, sort of bent over, and yeah, a lot of blood probably on the sand at this point, or in his general vicinity.
So much.
Yeah.
Krellin, this man, this northerner, who you have taken away his shield, his weapon is by his side. He is looking real bad. No offense. He doesn't stay down. He gets up to his knee. What do you do? As the crowd goes wild.
Just quick, like, slight logistical question.
Mm-hmm.
Can Cormac be wearing like a leather strap harness around his chest?
Of course. Leather straps always. These are gladiators. We want all the straps.
So he's just gonna shove his buckler into that strap so that it's just like held there, very unwieldy, but so he's not dropping it, and shift his grip to two hands while stepping back and calling to the crowd, "What say you, Gaul? Does he live or die?"
Barentor.
Yes.
Please make a health check.
Absolutely. Any negatives I need to add?
-1.
-1. That's what I thought. Failure. Just barely. Darn.
What were you going to do?
So his thought was grab sword that's probably right here and just again, all
Yep, charge.
nothing to lose.
Yep.
Full throttle, double hands, maybe at the throat, maybe at the guts. Who knows? Whatever we can get at this point. But obviously, he's probably doing this number on the sand, not even knowing where he's at.
And as you reach for that sword, it all, the sand, like the edges of your vision just start turning black. And
Yep. The single point of light starts to become a thing.
And you are unconscious. Can I get, oh, you're just unconscious. So I'm going to make a roll, if you don't mind.
Yeah, absolutely.
13. The crowd cheers, but they spare you. They give you a thumbs up. And the medics come in and grab your very bleeding bodies. They start to patch you up and sort of pull you off. And Krellin, the victor, our agile spear fighter, takes his adulation as the crowd throws laurels, and you are named the victor of this bout. And you too can leave the arena floor.
It's time for a party.
It is time for a party. We have...
I was promised alcohol.
Oh, there will be alcohol. There will be...
Literally the first thing Cormac says as he walks through the gate, like the first person he says, I was promised alcohol.
We will note Barantor, and we will note the results of this match. And there would be XP. But we have our second group of combatants. Before we start our second combat, we're going to take a 5 so I can update our arena. And so, my friends, go get yourself some water. Drink water. We will be right back with our second match in 5. We'll be right back. Hello, everyone. We're back. How are you? I hope you're doing well. We have a new set of competitors. Before we have them start, I want to just say that. So first off, I want to thank all four of them for being here. This is our first experiment on doing this as a group because I would like to, maybe on a regular interval do this, which means that if you are a member of the Patreon or our Discord, and you can just join our Discord, then you can be eligible to be one of our fighters. And we're gonna have XP so that you can you can customize your character a bit more. We'll do it in advance so people can customize their characters and do the things they need to do. And I'm very excited for it. But I'm also excited for this next fight. We have another heavy because we like to sort of pairs our heavies with our lights. And we have our heavy, also a heal, a noble who spent a lot of time drinking all of their parents' money, I believe. And
That's what all nobles do, basically, right?
yeah. And then I think also you drank all of your friends' money.
Yeah.
And then I also think you got into lots of debts.
Yeah.
And then you had
But this gladiator thing is going to straighten it all out. A couple of fights.
Sure.
A couple of dozen, and then we're square.
I have a question though. When you get the money from the gladiator fight, do you then just drink it all immediately?
Oh no, they don't let that happen.
Okay, because I'm just worried that you're never going to get out of debt.
No, my boss in the box, he's just like, I'll just take that for you because you owe me.
Oh no. Sometimes you never get out of those kinds of debts. But you know what though? You're a gladiator.
Yeah.
Big heavy shield. You've got your gladius. You are ready to fight. And squaring off against you is William, who is, I'm very excited to say, we have a Retiarius here. And our Retiarius, thank you for that. I heard that. Thank you, Artur Caldazar. Thank you for the follow. Our Retiarius is the net and trident fighter. So we have net and trident versus the big heavy shield. Now, the question becomes, who will win in this matchup? My two fighters, welcome to the arena. What are your basic speeds?
It's 6.25.
William?
And mine, I think it's the same.
Okay. What is your dex?
Dex is 13.
Okay. PH, what is your dex?
12.
William, you may begin. What would you like to do as the crowd, after seeing this very vicious battle, and our Northman is being taken care of by medics at the moment so that he may fight again another day, but there is blood on the sand, just sort of spattering the sand, and in front of you is this big, heavy fighter with a big helmet on. Tell me, what do you do?
I see this blood on the sand, and there's this moment where I'm like, I don't want to be the next one shedding that kind of blood. That's the moment. And then, like a WWE wrestler, I show my net, I raise my net and wheel it, and here is a big fish I'm going to catch. That's the idea.
And for those who've never seen a Retiarius, Retiariuses don't wear helmets. So our William's head is completely defenseless. Or is it? He wears this huge plate on his shoulder that covers, hopefully, if luck goes with him, his face and head, if he can get behind it, and part of his torso, and sort of the big trident and the net. Huge. They're very excited to see the fish and the fisherman, to see exactly how this will work. Would you roll performance?
Yes. So that's in.
And that should be in skills.
Performance, yes.
Close. Like, you make a good show, but the crowd is still a little bit distracted from the sort of the amazingness of that last fight. And they're like, oh, let's see how this goes. PH.
All right, let's do this. Fun. Okay, so I have just walked into the arena carrying this ungodly heavy shield that I don't like, but they're making me do because it's part of the whole outfit. I don't know. So I'm looking across and I'm seeing a guy with a net. Like, is that even a weapon? No one uses a net to fight. So I'm just gonna walk forward casually. It's 3 steps, right? If you're just moving.
If you're moving, you get your full movement. And what is your move? Are you a, let's see, what are you at? You are, move 4.
4.
Because of encumbrance.
3 is fine.
Mm,
This thing is heavy. I don't want to like do it to the best of my ability. So I'm saying like, this is the best guy you could find for me to fight. He's little. He's got a net. I want to fight a real warrior.
Oh, ooh, there's some smack talking going on right now. That's, I don't know how you feel about that, Willen, but he just called you out.
I like that, actually. It's weakness.
Ooh.
Overconfidence.
Mm-hmm.
So it's good. I'd like to encourage that if I can. I just move a bit forward.
How far? You can just take the 1 step and evaluate if you like, or you can take a full move.
Evaluate is good.
Let me put you up there. So with one step forward, let me get you out of there and let me add you both to our PH. He's eyeing you up.
So he is. He's scared, as he should be.
What do you do?
Is that all? Come on, don't make me drag this shield across the arena. And I'll just like lean back and go into the defense mode.
Ooh, are you taking an all-out defense?
I am, but I'm not like being super obvious about it.
Willen, what do you do? You've got 1 evaluate on him.
So I can use that to bonus on attack.
Ooh. Are you thinking about doing a move and attack? Or do you want to sneak up on him still?
Sneak up is good. That's the kind of thing I want to do. Nothing brazen, nothing sudden or considerate. So, yes, I think
and like another step and attack? A step and evaluate?
Yes.
I will give you.
So next time I can attack, I suppose.
You are now at a +2. PH, he's creeping forward, watching you. As you sort of take yourself, not quite in the center of the arena, but, getting some good space there for everyone to see you.
I will take another step. I will say, you see this guy? He can barely walk to me. He is so afraid. And I'll do another defense.
Willen.
I just keep moving and evaluating one more time.
You are at your max evaluate at this moment.
Okay.
That's a 3. Krellin.
Well, Krellin's not here.
Pardon me. PH.
I'm getting drunk in the back.
Yeah, I'd love Krellin to make all my combat decisions for me, but alas. So I'm like, I guess I will have to do it myself, and then I'll just charge.
Okay.
Sitting there, I got stuff to do, people.
I would like to ask, would you like to, this is a move and attack, would you like to spend a fatigue point to make that a heroic charge?
If we can call it just a charge, because there's nothing heroic about my character.
Maybe it's a villainous charge.
Yeah, it could-
Villainous
yes,
charge. There we
yes.
go.
Uh,
Villainous. I like that.
Please roll,
Alright.
if you would, your shield.
Yeah. Let's see. Shield bash. There we go. Do we get modifiers?
Mm-mm.
No? Okay. Easy enough. Bam. A critical miss. Excellent.
Oh,
Oh,
That's
okay.
good.
That's
so,
perfect.
So, I'm going to note that we do have critical miss tables in GURPS because that's exciting, and I like things like that. Why don't we just find out? Would you, if you wouldn't mind, would you roll 3d6 for me? If you would.
There we go. A 16. Nice and high. That's good, right? High is good.
Yeah, sure. Uh-huh. I'm going to just pull this out because I feel like we're going to need it right about now. So a 16, you come in to sort of like make this huge shield bash. But there is something on the ground. Maybe it's
Barantor's blood.
or his teeth, or some sort of part of his body that probably should be, maybe it's an intestine. It's really unclear.
Bits of liver.
A piece of liver,
Yeah.
but whatever it is, it causes you to slip and you fall prone.
Oh no. It's not time to sleep quite yet.
Yeah, let's put you right about here on the ground. On the ground. In front of William. William, this man came charging at you and slipped on some viscera because there was like some intestines that belonged to Barantor, just there, and he's on the ground in front of you. What would you like to do?
That was a gutsy move then.
Mm,
I'm more interested in ridiculing him than killing him. So is there any way to exhaust him rather than deal lethal damage? Exhaust or cripple?
Oh, well, yes. You can aim for his limbs if you like. That won't kill him, but that'll make him very sad. If you go for his limbs, you can go for arms. You can go for legs.
Can I just quickly throw
I
out
have
there
two
that
of
you-
each.
Can I just quickly throw out there, William, that you are a Restarix and you have a net?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
You can also entangle him with the net.
Entangle. Yeah, entangle sounds good.
If you might, that will be. Would you throw your? That's a net throw to entangle.
So that's
Roll your net if you would.
in combat. The net in combat.
Yep.
Melee. No
Now you have
modifier.
a small net. What would you like to entangle? What part of his body?
His legs.
Mm-hmm. Please. Oh yeah. That's good enough to hit. Could PH? Would you defend?
Would I?
I mean, you don't have to if you don't want to, but I would recommend it.
Yeah. Oh, that sounds good. So dodge, yes.
Yes, you are going to be at a -3 because you're lying down.
Oh.
Oh,
Well, that's not with the -3, so it'd be a 6.
well, but no, because
No,
that
the
just
-3 only applies to your target number. You still get
Yes.
that critical
okay.
success.
that is still a critical success. That is still a critical success.
Yay!
I
I have bad luck and good luck.
You do, but here's the thing: when you critically succeed on a defense roll. Willen, could you please roll 3d6 for a critical miss?
Okay, so how do I do that?
Just 3d6. So slash R 3d6. A 12. See, you were able to defend so well that your net becomes unready. Willen, you go to sort of entangle him, but he dodges out of the way with such a tricky sort of way that your net sort of comes loose in your hand, and you're going to have to spend a turn readying it if you want to use it again.
Okay.
Which makes it PH's turn. This is a very different fight already.
Yeah. Okay, I think I'll get up.
You are now kneeling.
Can I get up again? Like, can I spend my whole turn getting up?
It's a change maneuver will take you from, it's again one action a turn, so it'll take you from prone to kneeling, and then you can go from kneeling to standing it as a free action as part of your step.
Okay, so that's it. I spend my turn doing that.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I will also say, you're lucky this heavy shield is weighing me down.
Oh
as I get up.
no, Willen, he's kneeling, he's ready. Your net is unready. Your trident is ready. What do you do?
Poke him with the trident.
Okay. Please do.
Anything I could.
Now, are you going for his torso? Is there anything special you want to do? Just, curious.
Yeah, still going for the legs.
Okay, that's a -2 to the legs.
With the trident. So trident, one-handed or two-handed? One-handed, I guess. And -2.
-2. Okay,
Ooh.
that is good enough to hit as your trident thrusts out towards his leg. I would assume you would like to defend yourself.
Yeah, I'm gonna block it.
Mm-hmm. You will be at a -2 to your defenses because you're kneeling.
That's fine. My defenses are sky high. Hey, it
Yes.
worked.
So, you block with your shield as this trident comes out at you. It is your go.
Aim for my legs. That's a low blow. And I'll fully get up.
Which you can just do as part of your step from kneeling.
Oh, okay, good. So that means that I can still do stuff, which is nice. Let's see, what do we got? So I think I could do most of them, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay. I'll do a flurry of blows because we haven't. I don't think we've seen that one yet.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna do that one.
Okay. Now this is what we would call a rapid attack. So you can take 2 attacks, but they are at a minus.
Normally.
Right, that's how that goes. So you were.
But then I spend the cool fatigue points to make it a little less of a bad idea, like slightly. It's still a terrible idea. I should not be doing this, but it's fun, so we're doing it.
I believe your rapid strike is, and you're gonna have to spend a fatigue for each of those strikes. I believe.
Is that how it works? Yep, 1 fatigue per attack. Okay.
So you get 2
fine.
attacks at -6.
So that's the gray one.
So you'll be at -3 to these attacks, but you get 2 of them with no other penalties. Like you.
Yeah. Okay, so we're going
and
attacking. I'm going to use the gladius. I'm going to thrust. You know the sticky little.
Oh, I'm ready for it.
Okay, so the modifier is
-3.
Good. Here's the first one. Ooh, that's a good hit.
Okay, yeah.
Do we want to finish the hit? Do the other one as well?
Do the first. We'll deal with this one first because there are consequences. Willen, he's coming at you with a gladius. How would you like to defend yourself?
dodge and retreat.
Mm-hmm.
So doing that.
Oh. Okay. This is a. There's only a 1.2% chance of getting a critical success or failure like that, but we have it.
We've had a lot of them so far. This is pretty cool.
Oh yeah.
I have a feeling that William just found where I
Wow,
threw the
GURPS is
shield
such
to.
a swingy system.
You know, it's a.
Critical rolls.
Uh, Could you please roll a oh, you roll Dex.
Dex. Success.
I believe with a critical fail on a dodge, you fall.
Boom.
Yeah. I want to just check. I want to make sure I get that right, just in case, because
That is what Roll20 is telling us.
that is correct.
Mhm.
Yep. You fall prone. You are on the ground as you try to dodge out of the way, but there's a lot of viscera in this moment, unfortunately, I'm afraid. Please roll
There will be
damage.
more soon, I
Perhaps.
suspect.
Yeah. Please, PH, roll damage for that first of your attacks.
Doke. How would we do that?
There's a little,
Damage, I assume.
Yep.
Is
Yeah,
it
there's a little-
damage?
like a red.
Oh, that's it. Okay.
Oh gosh. Okay.
That
Oh.
seems high. That was high.
Wow.
Ouch.
Okay. Willen, will you roll me 1d4? 1d6, pardon me. So we're going for the torso. Nope. Your Galeran does not protect you. Please take 14 points of damage
Oh.
in one blow. As the Gladius. What is your max HP? 12?
I think so.
So you take 12. That is your, as the blade goes through your body, you can't take more on your torso than your actual hit points in one blow. But that's
So I'm not sure. It's health or it's something else.
so you should be at
Hit
what?
points.
0 hit points right now.
Max hit points is 12.
Yeah, you should be at
No,
0 hit
I'm-
points. Could you, if you don't mind, roll health?
So I'm how do I do change the health?
That should be on your general tab.
Yeah, I think I've done that.
Yeah, and then there's a little.
Half move
Yeah,
and roll
roll your
health.
health.
That's this. Boom.
Yeah. Oh, you are stunned. Your net and your trident fall from your hands as you can just hear ringing as this gladius just goes through your body. It's not
I feel
great.
bad.
Could you make your second attack, PH?
Do I even want? I feel so bad about this. This was not the plan.
Oh.
But sometimes the dice. Blame the dice. This was not my plan.
Mm-hmm.
But goodbye. All right, -3.
Mm-hmm.
Although he's prone now, so
That means it's gonna be really bad for him too.
okay.
His defense is gonna be, yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay then.
So, Willen,
Mhm.
you can roll your defense if you like. It'll have to be a dodge. You're at minus a lot. You're at -4 for being stunned. Also, it's halved because you have no hit points, and you're also on the ground. So, what I'm saying is that it's not good. You're gonna need like a 3 or a 4.
Okay, so no modifiers or
Yeah, because you're
I
at a minus. So take your dodges in half, and then you take off another 7.
Oh,
Yeah.
-7.
Yeah. Yeah. Because you're stunned and
Mhm.
bleeding and on the ground. And it's hard to dodge in that moment.
And I see it's half. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So you do not dodge. Would you PH, would you roll damage?
I guess.
Mm-hmm.
That's better.
Well, could you roll 1d6 for me?
Okay.
This is important. Nope.
Boom.
Your armor, it does not protect you at this moment. I'm afraid. Could you please take 10 points of damage?
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
so that's -10.
You are currently at -10. So it's your turn. On this turn, you can do nothing because you are stunned, but you can roll your health to see if you can get out of the stun for the next time.
Health.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, health is what keeps you from dying or falling unconscious. Strength is what gives you hit points. Okay.
Hey,
You
what's
will
up?
come out of your stun on your next turn. PH,
Yeah.
It's a
your
one.
opponent
Yeah.
is on the ground,
He is.
weapons no longer in his hands, bleeding from 2 very nasty wounds. But you can see his eyes clear. What do you do?
I'm gonna put the net on him, just like as a blanket. Stay down.
Michelangelo, our noble, just takes the net and places it on him as if it were a blanket. Not entangling him, just, here you go. Tucking him in.
I didn't know you were fighting James Brown.
I got myself a net provider.
Well, what would you like to do? You're bleeding? You're reeling? You are suffering from from shock,
Aw.
awe also. But you're feeling a little warm because you're being tucked in. What would you like to do?
Kneel, not stay down.
Then roll your health
Not
first.
stay. Okay.
Because if you do anything besides do nothing, because you're you're below 0 or below, you must roll health to see if you fall unconscious. You do not fall unconscious.
Yeah.
You pull yourself up to a kneeling position. And PH, what do you do?
Like, I gave him a chance, and then I'm gonna just whack him with the shield, just like straight across the face.
Okay, shield bash.
Good.
-5 for the head.
Yeah. This is the chance. Oh, like there's a mighty blow too.
Yes.
Am I enough of a bastard to do that?
Now, I do
Yes, I
have a
am.
question. Would you like to make this an all-out attack for a +4?
A +4.
Mm-hmm. Or you could do a telegraphed attack, which is +4, but gives him a +2 to defend.
That one.
Mm-hmm. So this will be
Yeah.
a telegraphic attack. You're lining it up.
And then a mighty blow. Yes.
Yep. Mm-hmm. So you be at a -1 because total. Okay. Uh-huh. So, my friend, Willen, his buckler comes screaming through the air in a very obvious way, right towards your
The
face.
buckler wearer objects to you calling that giant hunk of metal a buckler.
Yeah, me too.
I'm sorry.
This is a
I'm sorry.
freaking door.
It is the door. I'm so sorry. This is something dangerous and bad happening for you right now. Would you like to defend?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I think it is more like what? Reflex or something, because I don't think there's much
You can dodge,
life. Yeah, dodge. Yes.
but you're at -2.
Yeah, with little conviction, I think.
Yeah. You can spit a fatigue for feverish defense, which will give you a +2 so that you average that out. So you're just
Yeah.
in with your half dodge.
Yeah, do that then. Boom.
Oh, yeah. So that 16
Wow.
would not normally be a critical failure. The way it works in GURPS is if you roll 10 lower than the target you need, that's a critical failure. So the worse off you are, the more chances you'll have to critically fail. But also, if you roll 10 better, then that's a critical success. He's suffering right now. Could you roll that shield bash damage,
Oh yeah, no, sure.
Could
I'll
you-
put him out of that suffering you just mentioned.
please?
Hey, PH, I want to thank you for showing the audience why I was so worried about that shield.
Yeah,
It's very fair.
yeah. That's yeah. So
Dang, and I think that's even higher still because it was a mighty blow. I think that adds damage.
yes, it does. It adds 2, I believe.
Well, there you go.
So that's 6. Please take 6 points of damage.
Only 6?
Only 6 because it's only crushing. Roll
But
a d6. Pardon me. Roll a d6.
it was to his face.
Oh
though.
yes.
Yeah, I did aim at his head,
Yes. Oh yeah. That's
which is
a
where
thing.
he keeps his brains.
I'm
which
actually
he really
very
should have
excited.
used to keep sleeping.
I'm excited for this part because there are things I love. Would you roll? Did you roll a d4 for me?
D6?
Yes, please. A d6. Thank you. Nope. Didn't do it. Did not help you in that moment. But I'm sure that's fine. So you just got hit in the head. In GURPS, whenever you get hit in the head, immediately you must roll to see if you pass out. Could you please roll your health?
Health. No modifiers?
-5.
Just -5.
Yeah.
Success.
Oh, okay. Okay. You are not immediately knocked unconscious by the blow to the head, which is good. That's nice. Like what would you like to do?
I do believe he's at minus health now.
Oh, you are,
Yes.
aren't you? Could you please roll
Yes.
health?
Mhm.
This is important.
So straight health.
Straight health.
Oh,
Okay.
that's like it.
So, PH, would you describe to me how you kill him with this shield bash?
I think I break his neck because this shield is heavy.
Yeah.
And I've had enough. He should have stayed down. I'm like this. How dare you just dismiss my noble gesture?
Oh!
Bang! And then I break his neck.
And there's a sickening snap as that 25-pound shield smashes into his head. And his head takes an angle that it shouldn't.
Ooh, sounds
Then I
bad.
spent a little more time shouting at his dead body. Like, this is what you did. You made me do this to you.
Oh!
You all saw.
And
I just really enjoy that you didn't pass out. You just died.
yeah, no, you didn't pass out though. No, but you
No
died.
time.
Oh my
No time to
goodness.
pass out.
We did call it blood in the sand. So
And also apparently viscera in the sound. Oh
Ah.
my goodness. That was so intense. That's exciting. You know, so many there was like it could go either way. There was a
I'm sorry.
PH, you were an evil noble. You will get
I plan to lose. This is not like I'm gonna make terrible things,
Oh.
choices to show the system a little. I'm like, well, guess
Mhm.
not.
yeah.
Not.
So normally in GURPS a 17 or an 18 is a critical failure, which is like a 2% chance. Like in D&D of like a 5% chance for critical failure or critical success. But if your skill is really, really low because, I don't know, you're dying, then like if you have a skill of 4, then a 14 or an up will be a critical failure, right? So like the worse off you are, no, we're rolling 3d6, which has slightly better. You're more likely to hit 10 through 12 than you are to hit like a 3 or 4 or a 17 or an 18.
Yeah,
But
this match was the exception with all
Yes.
those critical hits and misses.
but also exciting. There are a lot of people. Well, that's one thing I will say about Sal says it seems snowbally, and I would say yes. It's one of those things where
Nice and round.
if you
Yep.
get hit, it starts going downhill from there. I mean, like it's if you get like a small hit, you can maybe like back off and defend yourself and like recover and come back in, which is what Barantor did. But if you get a big hit, as in real life, you are probably not going to be in a great space. There are ways. I just meant from the small bit I've seen, there's little room for recovery, very short and quick engagements. There are. Moz. It's interesting because there are ways to there are ways to deal with that, right? So you can take high pain threshold, which means you don't deal with a shock penalty. You can have really good health so that you're unlikely to fall unconscious, and you're much less likely to die. You can spend a lot of points on your upping your health. Spend a lot of points upping your strength as well. So you can like spend points on that. What I would say is GURPS is whereas D&D is a game where you get hit a lot because you have like a lot of hit points. You're like, I've got 100 hit points, and so it's a game of being hit a lot. This is a game of not being hit a lot, right? So this you spend because you have active defenses. So this is a one where you're like, okay, no, I'm going to spend everything I have to not get hit. So it's a lot of like, don't get hit, don't get hit, and then you do get hit, and you're like, okay, I need to all out defend. I need to back up, shake it off, and then come back in. Unless you get your leg cut off, which can also happen. That's hard to recover from.
I guess gladiator fights are all about hitting and getting hit.
Yes.
So
Hitting
Yeah.
and not getting hit really is the goal.
yeah, ideally, yes.
Now, what's interesting, because right now we were doing one-on-one, so you're seeing that, but if you had multiple combatants, all of a sudden you can maneuver around your opponent, and the more you defend, the harder it is. I like it so far. A lot more thinking, because yeah, swords and shields hurt. No magic potions or magic heal through it. Yes, and now you could have magic potions and shields, but there can be magic. Also, you can do cinematic rules. For example, now I will also note that these are gladiators, and in gladiatorial arenas, they didn't wear a lot of armor. Really, not a lot of armor at all, because that was more exciting for the audience. But you could, if you wanted to, like not in ancient Rome, but if we were the late Middle Ages, you could have full plate, and full plate does a lot of protection. So it's hard to get through. Like maybe somebody hits you, but if they can't get through your armor, then you don't take any damage, right? If you have like really, really heavy plate. Now you're probably not going to be dodging if you have really heavy plate because it's pretty heavy, but they're going to have to, it's going to be a different calculus. Like if somebody has really, really heavy armor on, well, okay, you can't.
You can knock them over.
You can knock them over. Yeah, you can start grappling, or they probably don't have really good armor on their feet and hands. So maybe you have to go for their feet and hands. Or if you're really good, just go for the eyes. Right. So there's the idea of like, okay, do you want to have like, you can have very heavy armor and not do a lot of dodging, just like soak up that damage. You can be very, very dodgy. You can block, you can parry. You can just try to be a big, huge meat sponge. If you go very cinematic, you can get a lot of advantages that make you very, very hard to kill and very easy to sort of soak up lots and lots of damage. Yeah, but yeah, you can just go for all those weak joint areas. I want to, if you don't mind, let me, I'm going to pull all of you up on screen to say hi to all of you. Let me get you all here. Hello and hello. Let me boop, 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 boop here. Oh, I don't want that. That's what I want. I want, wait. Display. Boom. here. And hey, there's Barator. And
Are they?
here's
hey,
Krellin.
Yeah.
You don't need to display me. I'm just a dark void, like my heart and my soul.
I'm displaying you anyway. Can't stop me. And let me put up your name tags, and let's have a bit of a post-mortem.
A powwow.
In my case, yes.
I don't have to kill PH because he won.
No, because we're at 3. We're gonna go and like chat about it, and then we'll do the thing. Here we go.
We'll save it for the playoffs.
Yeah, we'll have I think we're gonna do some madness. Okay, so here we go. Boom. Hello. So hey everybody, everybody's here. Now I will say we will do this again, and when we do it again, we'll have like more lead time so that if you want to play, all of our players here, I hope will come back. They will be able to customize their character more. They'll start with their template and I'll throw in because I know that PH wants to have that scissor for a lot of punching. So I'll make those other templates, and the character sheets that I've put in there has all the information on how to customize that character. So if you want to, you're like, okay, I think I want to have, put in this one, put in that one, and increase this skill. You have those choices, and so we'll have a little bit of lead time so you can sort of customize your gladiator a bit more. And decide where you want to sort of place your skill points and all that. So
Trooper made me spend all my points on dexterity. I was going to spend those points on appearance and charisma, so I would actually pass my performance checks.
In the next arena, we will also have the reaction checks from the audience. There'll be like a tally.
Yes.
A reaction tally from the audience based on if you make some really good moves, if you play to the audience, that'll increase their reaction and you can get a good reputation for it and like a bonus. So there'll be ways in which your interaction with the audience will help you. If you're
How
attractive.
did our audience feel about me brutally murdering William?
Oh, they love that.
They're not like, oh, that poor little guy.
No, it is a noble's right to brutally murder peasants. I'm pretty
That
sure
is
that's
fair.
how Rome works.
Yeah, they do love a little bit of murder. They're like, oh yeah, nice. And so you'll be able to sort of track your reputation. So what I'd like to do is do this, like once a time period, maybe once a month on a Saturday, so that our folks in Europe can come and play. And then you can sort of track your reputation. You'll get money for winning your bouts and, of course, XP. You get an XP for winning and losing. You just, unless you die, in which case then you don't. But you get more XP for winning, and you get some money so you can maybe like upgrade your equipment if you'd like. So I'm excited for that. But tell
I'm
me,
gonna buy a stunt double.
you can buy a stunt
That seems
double.
handy.
And I'm also excited about having some other gladiatorial challenges. I imagine our first full-on official arena will be a one-on-one, but I'd like to go and have some naval battles,
That'd be awesome.
some
That's fun.
defend the bridge, perhaps some
Yep.
animals coming in to
Mm-hmm.
say hi in a sort of way.
Put some chariots.
Some chariots, of course.
That'd be awesome.
So
Those
maybe
are
some
always fun.
2v2 as well, like some
Mhm.
pairs of teams.
I'd love to fight a chariot now to think of it. Because those things are deadly.
Right? Yes. So I'm excited about all of that, and I want to thank all 4 of you for coming in and helping me play test this to sort of see, okay, what are the things to pay attention for? What things can I look at? Because I know that I know now that we have to sort of recheck the character sheets when you up your attributes and make sure that's on point. Yes, and it's a lot of hand entering information because there's a lack of official support, which Krellin shook his fist in the air for me earlier, which I appreciate. And also we're going to make sure that we have all of the characters done before we actually start so that they're all in there and we could just kind of be good to go. Gentlemen, what were your thoughts?
GURPS pro tip: don't roll 17s.
Yeah, don't do that. It's not great.
Yeah, that seems like a good takeaway from this. Yeah, I thought it was really fun. I liked having the list of options that Trooper prepared for us. I got to see some of them in use from Barantor and Krell, so I'm gonna be like, all right, I like this. This is how you use that one. This one didn't see use, the rabbit attack, so I think I want to use that one.
And it worked out very well for you.
Heck yeah, it did. Dang, I was expecting to fail horribly because, like, I knew that my shield gives me a negative to attacks,
Yep.
and this maneuver gives me even more negatives
Yep.
to attack. So I assumed with my stupid head that this would just be a really cool cinematic moment where I attack and he gets to do cool defense stuff. Nope, it was just brutal murder.
It was brutal murder. It's brutal.
Hey, PH, welcome to combat.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a funny thing because you can sort of give yourself, like, all the characters right now are 100 points, which is like for like an arena only pretty decent because you don't need all, like, if this were a full campaign you'd probably have a bunch of other skills like area knowledge and poetry and fast
Yeah.
talk and all sorts of things like that. So it's like a pretty decent number, but
Because our characters have those skills, but they're not useful.
Yeah.
Because
they're just not on the character sheet at this moment. But you can have a GURPS game with like 300 points, in which case, and maybe also you can fly. I mean, just depending on what kind of, you can have 4 arms, depending on what sort of switches you've sort of moved on. What else were you all thinking?
So the dice are really brutal. Any roll can be critical, and in the consequences, I mean. So it's just
Do you know what's really something to note? A critical success on a hit means no defense. So normally you get a defense, but if it's a critical hit, no defense, which is sometimes what you have to hope for if you've got somebody with a really good defense. They've got a really good shield, they've got a really good shield skill, and they're like blocking everything. You're like, how do I get through this? That critical hit might do it, or maybe you feint, maybe you maneuver behind them,
you break the shield.
or you
Shield's in the
start
way.
attacking the shield. Actually,
Yeah.
How do you break a 25-pound shield? I mean,
well, that'll take a long time because they have a
Get a
lot of hit
hammer.
points. Axes are pretty good actually for that.
Yep.
Pole axes are very good.
yeah,
Another
nobody did swing damage. Swing damage actually makes a big difference too.
Oh yeah, but we don't have the trident's not going to do swing. The gladius would.
Gladius would. Yeah.
You know, it's now the trident can disarm. Well, any weapon can disarm, but the trident's a little bit better at it. And you can disarm a shield. You attack the shield to disarm, and if you're successful, the shield becomes unreadied, and they can't use it until they spend a time to ready it. So that's like another option that you have. Like I think what's interesting is that you have options. I mean, you could also do things like throw sand in somebody's face if you are that kind of
A
person.
heal, yeah.
If you were a heel, you can try to fake him out if you're very smart. So like there's like a lot of different options that you have there in terms of how you want to sort of go about it.
It really helps you role play your character in combat. Like you've talked about that a lot, but like I can see it now.
Yeah.
You know, it's not just there's so many ways to attack.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
every character would have their own
Yep.
style.
Just as a for instance, had Barontor's shield rush missed, so I didn't have to defend against it, and we were in the same square, I wouldn't be able to stab him with my spear anymore.
Right.
But the Hoplomachus is also good at
I knew
brawling.
that. Yep.
So I would have
Yep.
just need you in the groin.
Mhm.
Right.
Yes.
But I believe I would have been able to still use my gladius in close combat.
Yes.
Like
Yes,
as I'm
yes,
like,
a gladius can be used in close
Yeah.
combat a lot better than a spear
yeah.
can.
And I think and I think that what's interesting is that there are different ways to, like, I was playing a character who was, well, I took the disadvantage overconfident. I was like, okay, what does that mean for me in combat? I think what that means is I'm just not going to retreat backwards. Like, I will always retreat forward. Like, I'm just not going to, like, because I feel like it's like, I don't need to retreat. I'm just going to keep. He did lose a leg at one point in time. It was not great, but like, you know, but I was like, oh, I did very aggressive attacks, right? I was like, oh, I'll do like a lot of aggressive attacks, sort of risky maneuvers because he's overconfident. I did a small dagger wielder once who was very, very mobile. And so it was a lot of maneuvering and sort of pinpoint attacks. And so like there's a way in which you can, you're like, oh yeah, I think I'm going to use like strength-based feints, right? Because I feel like I'm a big brute. Or I'm really smart, so maybe I will actually try to use tactics, or maybe I'll like trick them. Like there's a lot of ways for you to like find out what your character is. And like I think, for example, maybe your noble would never throw sand in somebody's face, but maybe somebody else's character totally would, right? And you have to figure out like who do you want your character to be? And I think what's interesting to me is that all the options are available to everyone, but you don't have to use them, right? So it's not like only this kind of fighter,
Right.
only this kind of character can do grappling. Anyone can grapple. It's just if you're not very strong or skilled, it may not be so great for you, but you can do it. And I've always liked that. And when I was doing that dagger fighter, my whole goal was to get inside their guard, grapple them with one hand, and then just start stabbing them. Like it's like because if you can't get away from me, you can't use your big long weapons, and I'm just gonna stab you a lot from like up close. The only problem is then I had to get really close.
The getting the close is the hard part.
That must have been really difficult when you were fighting the ogre.
It was
Because the ogre's like, oh, you're close? Crush.
Yeah, no, it was yeah. There's also we didn't do it, but there's also knockback. If you do huge amounts of damage to somebody, you can knock them back. Like usually with crushing damage, thrusting damage does not knock people back. But if you hit them with that shield bash, probably it was 6 damage, so it wouldn't have knocked him back. But like if you do enough damage, you can knock them backwards. So there's a lot of
and you increase that for more cinematic effect.
Yes,
that's the one thing I know about GURPS.
Yes,
cinematic damage, knocking people away.
Yes. Baron Tor, it's been a while. What were your thoughts?
So I wanted everybody to kind of realize, and I was thinking about this while everybody else was talking about what they liked. If you compare this to like D&D, right? D&D is 6 seconds around, and you do like the fighter goes swing, or does one thing or whatever. This was as long as one round of D&D combat, like just 6 seconds, because like the back and forth, it's 1 second, turns and everything. And so to me, that really brings forth the realistic combat nature of it all, because fights are not a long thing. If you get stabbed, you're done. You're kind of, it's not a good thing to get stabbed. Listen, just if you didn't know that.
No, it's true. It's true.
Bleeding out everywhere, not a good idea. And I like
although
that
I will note, if Baron Tor had just been wearing a leather jerkin, that first hit wouldn't even have done anything.
Nope. It's true. And I think that it's really interesting about that, right? Because this is a gladiatorial arena, sort of like we're doing Roman, where people are just not wearing a lot of armor.
No.
But it's entirely possible we could do this as not a historical Roman, but we could do it like as a TL3 vaguely fantasy-esque arena where you have a certain amount of money that you can spend. And that you can then you decide what you want to spend that money on, right? Like maybe I'll get a really cheap weapon, but a really good breastplate. And that's like a different sort of set of choices.
Well, and I think too, if we have some rules and effects where the crowd really matters as far as your prestige and how far you go, we're going to see more of us playing up to that because we're going to take the time. We're going to make that bout be the event. So we want to use up all the time possible, and we'll stab once and then back off and be like like wrestling basically when you get down to it. And so it's going to be a big pomp type of thing to raise those prestige levels, because the reason they weren't wearing a lot of armor is so that the audience sees all the blood and sees all the cuts and sees all the little nick the guy got on the shoulder, and he's just bleeding profusely down his arm. And so
it's very exciting.
I think and it makes that excitement for the crowd. So the crowd aspect, I think, adds to it. Like if we were to do like a medieval jousting melee, that would be a whole different thing where people are doing shoves and crushing damage on like armor, and it's all about the clatter and the chaos. And so that's a whole different vibe. And I like that this game can cover both those by just changing a little bit. And once you know this, how melee, or even if we did range with like an arrow or something, once you know how to do this, oh, we're going to play sci-fi now or something, and those same types of things you're probably doing with the bow and arrow. There might be a little bit of difference, but you're going to have a laser gun or whatever. And if I've got, a lightsaber or something else, it's kind of the same thing. It's the same kind of maneuvers, and you're not having to learn, oh, well, I've got to learn this whole new system to do this thing. So I really like that.
It's just that rifles do a lot more damage. You don't want to get hit with a rifle. It's just
I looked up plasma damage once on the thing, and it was just like, yeah, you're just burned. It's
Yeah.
just you're done.
Okay, and when you
It's
get up to
always set
lightsabers,
to kill.
Yeah.
when you get up to lightsabers, you're right back to no armor gladiatorial
Mhm,
combat.
yeah,
It's the same thing
right.
again.
It's true, actually.
Yeah.
One of the things I thought was so like one of the things I always think about that for a lot of people that the transition from something like D&D to GURPS or to Schwarze Auge is that people are used to doing a lot in a GURPS combat, right? They're like, oh yeah,
Mhm.
I can move 30 feet and I can like take 4 attacks if I, I'm a monk, and also like, and I get my bonus action, and then I get like, so you're used to doing a lot of things. And so
Mhm.
sometimes if you are used to that, you're thinking, oh, I don't get to do anything. Like, oh,
Right.
but it's just that the pacing's just a little different, and this becomes especially tricky when it comes to ranged combat because
Yeah.
ranged combat you want to aim, and so you spend a
A
turn aiming.
lot. Yeah.
Um, and what that really means is that, like, I think that if you're going to be doing GURPS with ranged combat, what's useful is that when we started off that arena, you were far enough away that you could not get to each other in one turn through a move. So if you did want to sort of, you could do a range attack at that moment. You could be like, okay, I'll start off aiming. When they move, I'll do that range attack, and then I'll go, right? Like, so there's
Mhm.
like, range is often very good for when you get to start your. It's interesting because I find that very often you'll start not just GURPS. There are other systems that are similar to this. You'll start off with a bit more distance to your conflicts, so you have like a kind of an interesting moment of like range strategy before you all get into that melee clash. And
Mhm.
so there's kind of different ways to sort of think about how do you want to deal with that. Oh my gosh, do you know the bridge defense? The person who's on the bridge, it's like one person on the bridge and I think 2 people who are trying to get on there. The person on the bridge has like a stack of rocks that they're allowed to just like throw at the people
Mhm.
who are trying to come at them. So yeah, that's I
Well,
always
that's an interesting thing too, because the right now we're in an open arena, so there's not much to like. I was maneuvering against the
Yeah.
wall and trying to use it to my benefit,
Yeah.
but if you're in confined
Yep.
hallways and everything else, it's going to start affecting everything,
Yep.
and especially when you
Mhm.
have weapons that take a lot to maneuver,
Yeah.
and all of a sudden those are not so great, and and if you get in close combat, that's what I really like the close combat, and it's one of those things that D&D doesn't have that or in a lot of other games don't have because it's a weird thing to kind of parse for people because you're wrestling.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're basically in someone's face in their space,
Yep.
and and it's that close body blow type with the like yours with the daggers
Yep.
that you're using them, that closeness to deny them that big axe or that big pole arm or
Oh
that
yeah.
big spear
Or
or that
that shield,
whatever or that shield.
that big shield
Mhm.
that the Mermila has. It's that
Yep.
massive shield, 25 pounds that you do not want to parry
Nope.
or block. That gives them so much defense. If you get
Yep.
inside their shield, that's real bad for them because that's a
Yep.
huge plank of wood that is just going to get
Mhm.
in their way and make it really hard for them, right? So like there's a
Yep.
lot of interesting techniques about, okay, well maybe I will knock you down, and I'm going to specialize in fighting from the ground. And so if we're on the ground, I'm going to be an
Mhm.
advantage and you will not. Or I'm going to just go for your vitals because that's going to be a good
Yeah.
way to do a lot of damage. But you can only go for vitals with thrusting attacks. Or
Yep.
I'm gonna try to hit you in the head. If I hit you in the head, I may not kill you, but I might just knock you out. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I don't have to do a lot of damage if I can just hit you in the head, right? I can maybe knock you out. And there's like a lot of different ways in which you
Yeah.
can think about it. And I think for like future arenas, I'd love to have like maybe some pillars, some fire pits, just some
Yeah.
things to like.
Blood for on the floor. So
Yes.
you can be like, if I run across
Yes.
here at full speed.
And I think that with good audience, like I'm thinking like with audience favor, you can get extra money,
Mhm.
which you can then use to like, because what all the equipment you had is the basic equipment that you would get.
Yeah.
But if you have the ability to like, maybe you get extra money, you're like, okay, I'm going to get like a really good sword, like mine, a really good one that gives me a little bit that's extra damage, or I'm going to try to just get me some better armor. You know what I mean? Like that these
I'm
things are
going to get a
expensive.
high quality spear so I
Yes.
can block that shield because
Yes.
it won't break.
Exactly. Right. So so I think that there are a lot of really cool possibilities for what happens when you've been in the arena sort of multiple times and you get your experience and your money that way. And I think something I've always sort of I think if you can get used to the different pace, I find it very exciting, right? You just have to sort of know that, like, okay, it's like they have guns, right? They have the arquebus and like the old school black powder weapons, but it's like 60 seconds to reload those. So
Yeah.
you shoot it once, then you drop it, and then you take out your sword and then you swashbuckling, because you're not going to be firing that multiple times once we get into close combat, right? But that's also how it was. So it's like an interesting, different
But
way.
if you hit with that firearm, oh my goodness,
Ooh.
yeah, there's no, you're
Oh.
yeah. Let's
Yeah,
take
you
someone
get-
out of the fight. Yeah,
You get a high gun skill, so you take one
Mhm.
person out of the fight, and then you fight the rest with your sword.
Yes, right? Like that's
If your gun fires properly, because
well,
Yeah.
yes, if
didn't
you're-
always.
yeah, and it doesn't always, because there are malfunction rules. And so like, and what I would say also for those who don't know the system well is that there are a lot of options. That GURPS has switches that you can turn on and off. So we were using the tactical combat rules that's map based, but you can also just do theater of the mind, in which case things like a lot of that maneuverability, which I think is really fun. It doesn't really matter at that point in time. You're just like, are you in range or not? And then you kind of you go. You don't have to use hit locations if you don't want to, although I love them. Like for a person, like I love my heavy RP, but when we get into combat, I love being able to RP, like as PH said, I love to be able to RP my character through, and I like to be able to see what I'm looking at and being like, okay, well, can I do something tricky? Like, what kind of cool thing might I be able to do with that, right? And that might be interesting and change the tide in some kind of a way.
and it all matters because there's rules to layer onto it, and that everything, like if you go for the eyes, it actually means something rather than
It's
Yeah.
eyes are like -9 to hit,
Yeah.
but
if you hit them, oh boy,
eyes are very, very delicate, and getting
Isn't
Yeah.
it something like times 10 damage?
it's bad.
It's really high.
Well,
up
what
That's why
there.
we
happens
have the
if-
helmets. That's why we have the helmets. It's
helmets.
fine.
It's I
No,
think
no,
it's,
that's why you go for the eyes, because the eyes actually is an aim for the eye slit.
yeah,
And
Yeah,
the
so it
helmet
goes
doesn't
through the-
apply.
yeah, but then some -10, I think that one. But I see the eye
is
only
hard
does
to hit,
like
yeah.
can only take 1 or 2 points of damage. Anything above that just goes right into the brain,
Yeah.
and that's
That's
also
better.
bad. Just in case, in case you wanted to know, that's also bad. So I'm also thinking, because Jer made this comment, and it was a really great comment, that we can have the extra credit points be audience reactions. And so I'm really excited about sort of doing this in a big way next time around, where you get to customize your character. I'll give you the templates and you can customize from there, and we'll have like audience using their extra credits to sort of audience reactions, and then getting your XP for surviving and or winning and making very flashy things, and getting money based on and getting reputation and all of that, and getting having sort of like a kind of a longer term arena campaign where there's a lot of fighting, but we can also start in a little bit of chatting in the below decks before you start, not dying. So yeah, that's I keep remembering my POS M16 basic training. This is Call Drake. It was more accurate than the smooth work. Yeah. Oh man. So we will not keep these characters because it was our test, and I want you all to be able to customize your character as you will.
Mhm.
And I will say again, we're using.
I like him now.
Yeah, right.
One.
you can keep them if you want, but
All right.
also if you wanted to customize, you can do that. So I would say, Moswolf says, I love this. I watch a lot of Spartacus TV series, so it brings back memories of the Shans. Oh, yes. And I will say, Willen cannot bring his Rotarius back, but he can make a new one. I will
Twin
also.
brother.
Oh, yeah. And of course, next time we're going to do the pomp and circumstance and all of that goodness. I'm going to see if I can get some good fanfare music for it. But I want to say I really appreciated the evaluates. I appreciated a feint in there. I appreciated sort of trying out different tactics and figuring out which ones you liked. And I'm excited to see what you all do with it, and where we go next, and how it goes. And yeah, that's what I'm excited about. So, my friends, I would like everyone here to introduce themselves and tell us, if you've got anything going on and where we can find you. And I would like to go first with our voice in the sky, Krellin. Oh, and by the way, next time I'm going to have like a super cool image if somebody doesn't have a camera. So like rather than a black square, Krellin will have like
They're Gladiator.
Yeah, like a
They're-
gladiator. It'll be good.
I mean, I could have sent you an image because I use the same avatar everywhere, and you could have used that.
Next time, do so, and I'll put it in there.
But I am Krellin. I am your blank, inky void of darkness. If you can find me, feel free to follow me, but I'm not going to help you.
Don't challenge them, Krellin. Don't challenge them. PH.
Yes, hi. I'm Paladin Hulk, Twitch moderator for Random Tuesday and Little Red Dot. And you can find me in other places besides like the socials. So let's see,
Better.
it's 5 hours from now. I will be GMing a game of Good Strong Hands
Ooh.
over on Polished Cryptids channel. We're going into the 3rd episode of a 4-episode series. I expect things to happen. Might be fun.
That's a great game.
It is a great game. I really like it. I'm being a little with the rules because I'm not a rules guy. I'm gonna just do whatever, just have fun, kind of a GM. So, and they have been, so it's good. Sunday first. Sundays over on Uncanny Adventures. I play Holt, the pirate paladin who tries to make friends with all the evil pirates, and we have been doing exactly that, making lots of new friends, new pirates showing up all the time. Our captain's missing now. That's a bit worrying. Might have wandered off in the jungle, which is full of deadly beasts. So hope he's still all right. Then Tuesdays, I'm back on Paul Scripted's channel where I play Dom Rain, the Githzerai noble fighter, where we are off to a meeting with a cult leader who might be able to help us find one of our missing companions, though I am skeptical. Then that's it, because my Friday game was sadly cancelled. That's me.
Willen, besides being the amazing notes keeper for City of Light and Shadow, where can we find you?
That's a lot of what I do. Another thing I do is I moderate the Twitch channel of Unexpected Production. And I think I will see you there soon.
You will. That is true.
And so yes, the next stream is tomorrow morning at 8:30. Tomorrow morning for me, this evening in the US, 8:30 Seattle time. And I hope I see you again, Twitch. I don't know if you're still there, but I saw you there before on the stream. And yes, that's basically what I do.
And Barantor.
So I'm Barantor on basically everything, I think. If there's something I'm not, then you would know. And I'm on Twitter. You can follow me on Twitter. Most of the time I'm on Twitter, or I'm on Troopers Discord, or my own Discord, or a bunch of other Discords. I'm a moderator for the BattleTech Harebrained Schemes game Discord. If you ever get in that game, ask me, hit me on something and say, hey, what do I do if you need any help? And I also manage the subreddit for that game as well over on Reddit. Other than that, I'm not doing too much right now. I'm just living life, being awesome, dying in an arena.
But that's okay. We'll come back.
Yeah.
And I'm excited for Willen to get revenge.
Mhm.
And I'm Trooper SJP. This is Saturday, so tomorrow I believe we're on for Simply Divine at 11 a.m. Dot and I believe so. As long as it all works out. I know there's some like car stuff going on. She might have to go to the Call of Duty dealership. If not, we're good. And then tomorrow night at 8 p.m. over at Praxagor, that's Mophoria's channel, will be the Blue Rose, Romance of the Blue Rose. But next week, y'all. Next week, regular Thursday, but Wednesday, The Witcher. Friday will be episode 1 of season 2 of City of Light and Shadow coming back because it is now August. So look forward to City of Light and Shadow, 7 p.m. Eastern on this channel with a solo episode with Love Laugh Lindy to see what Frida is doing with her newfound rescued fame. And the other big new things, I'll be in a Blades in the Dark game on Sunday over at Table Story at 4 p.m. Eastern. And I'm playing someone who is not at all shady, like in any way.
Good.
I mean, so thank you. Oh, and what to say? Guess what? There's a new thing in Discord, which I'm so excited about. You can make a roll that's cosmetic, and I'm going to make a roll for the arena winner. It's going to be like the arena crown. So somebody who gets the crown will have the thing until that's it. I'm just really excited about that. So like, I'm excited. I imagine, what is it? We're in July. So maybe technically
Barely,
still, yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe we can get an arena in at the end of August, and we can get ourselves prepped for it. So, if so, join the Discord so you can say that you want in, or you can join the Patreon as well. They get the first pick, and yeah, I'm excited. That's it. Take care of yourselves. Go eat food. But you know what? I feel like we can do a raid. Because
Do like raids.
Yeah, it is that time period. Who is raid? Who's up? Who's around right now? It's give me my channel so that I can see who of my friends are currently streaming. Who's up? Oh, there are not a lot of people up right now. What's up with that?
It's still early.
We could raid Paladin Hulk. No, you're watching me. What is that? Hey, let's raid Red Rum Jiggler. Let's do that. So we're gonna raid Red Rum Jiggler, who's playing The Legend of Zelda, and so give them some love, and remember our raid command, if you would like to. It's an art history joke because there's just something wrong with me, and there's nothing else I can do about it. So everyone, thank you for being here. We've got a lot coming up. And we will see you all on the flip side, and give some love to our raiders. And we'll see you. We're going 7 seconds. So everyone, thank you very much. We'll see more arena goodness later, and give some love to Red Rum Jiggler. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
And I think we are raiding right now.
Yep.
Yeah.